If you've been wanting to get into scuba diving, I'm going to tell you what nobody else talks about. The truth about getting started. From the certification and the concerns to the gear you actually need, how much it's going to cost you. Let's dive in. The first thing you're going to need is your open water certification. Everyone's going to argue about agencies, PADI, SSI, SDI, but the truth is, agency warriors are just plain wrong. The agency matters far less than the instructor. There are some incredible instructors out there, and then there are those who honestly should just be avoided. Be comfortable with who you choose and make sure you trust them. And I don't just mean the ones who smile and joke with you. Think about it like sports. The best coaches I ever had growing up were the ones that I really didn't like at the time. And I only appreciated them later because they pushed me and they made me better. Apply that same mindset to the scuba instructor who's teaching you how to stay alive underwater. Seriously. So I got my certification through PADI, and it required me to do about 12 hours worth of online or classroom training, 2 pool dives, and then 2 open water dives. But here's the part that a lot of people forget. This isn't where your training ends. This is just where it begins. You should constantly be training and educating yourself as long as you're diving. Now let's talk about concerns. I hear all the time, my ears hurt when I go too deep underwater, I've got sinus and allergy problems, and I'm claustrophobic. Here's the deal. Always seek medical advice from a doctor, not just any doctor, but a dive doctor. Divers Alert Network is a fantastic place to start for this. But know this, your mind will always come up with excuses to stay out of the water. It's a defense mechanism. The unknown is scary. That's normal. Most of the things that you're worried about won't actually keep you out of diving, but one of them might. Yes, you can equalize. You just haven't been taught right, or you've been taught wrong. Here is the best advice I ever got, and it works like magic. Start equalizing before you even go underneath the surface. Don't wait until you can feel that pressure or it's too late. Equalize early and equalize often. Sinuses and allergies. Speaking from experience, I have some of the worst sinuses and allergies on earth, and it hasn't stopped me from diving. In fact, staying disciplined in my daily meds and nasal rinses has probably improved the way that I breathe in my sinuses and allergies. Claustrophobia might actually be the one that keeps you out of the water. The most important trait that a diver can possess is the ability to stay calm. As you progress in your scuba diving, your dives will naturally become more complex, and just the law of averages says that something is going to happen which will require you to stay calm and deal with that situation. If you can't do this, diving probably isn't for you. You need to be honest with yourself. Can you stay calm when things go wrong in the face of true danger? Not just medical concerns, your brain is going to come alive with questions you can't even predict yet. I can't list them all here, but drop them in the comments, and if it's not medical, I'll do my best to answer it. And remember, your local dive community is probably the best asset and resource for this kind of knowledge. My #1 money-saving hack for scuba is to buy once, cry once. Don't get a dive computer or friends just because they're in a dive bundle or they're cheaper. You'll only end up spending more when you upgrade it down the road. Most shops require you to buy your own mask, snorkel, and fins. You can rent all the rest. The most important of these, in my mind, is the mask. A proper fitting mask that doesn't leak is gonna lead to a far better dive experience. I've actually made a video about this exact thing, how to properly fit a mask, with an extra step that nobody taught me. That video's right here. If you know that you're gonna dive a lot and you're obsessed like I was, and you're gonna buy all of your own gear right out of the gate, do your research and buy in store so that you can properly fit the things that need to be sized correctly. I don't see anything wrong with wanting to own your own gear and be comfortable with it, but just know that you're probably going to spend more in the long run because you haven't tried enough BCs, computers, or wetsuits to know what you actually like. Look, I'm not proud of it, but I have severe GAS, gear acquisition syndrome. I had 2 air integrated computers and an $1,800 BC and everything else you could ever want for scuba before I even hit the water. I have since then bought additional or upgraded just about every piece of gear that I had already bought. Then I did it all over again for my son. My wife is a very patient woman. For most beginners, certification will probably run you around $600, and you'll spend at very least $200 on a mask, fins, and snorkel. Beyond that, gear can get very expensive, or you could go the budget route. But just remember, you don't need all of this at once. If you're not ready to commit yet, try a Discover Scuba class. It's one day with a couple hours in the pool in the morning and then a 2-tank dive with an instructor right by your side sometime that afternoon. It's inexpensive, it's safe, and it's a great way to see if you enjoy it. you will. Scuba diving, especially with your family, is one of the most rewarding things you'll ever do. It gives you the excuse to travel the world and experience adventure. For me, it's made me calmer, a better dad, and a more responsible human. If you're still on the fence, here's my answer. Get certified, take your time, never stop learning. I'll dive for the rest of my life, and I hope you do too. I'll see you down there. Hit subscribe and drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about it. If you want my suggestion for what to watch next, click this one right here. If you're new here, we hide real treasure underwater. We call it The Hunt. If you find one of our coins, you win high-end dive gear from brands that we trust. The hunt is on.